I'm very disappointed. And I think his teammates are disappointed. You know, there's going to be frustration and losses. There's going to be, you know, there are times when you really have to just dig deep and fight and turn to one another. I don't think I don't think you run, you know, and so I'm disappointed.
Jeff Fisher, and I've said this many times on the show, has never treated Vince Young with the respect he has earned as a two-time AFC Pro Bowl quarterback. Vince was ready to start at Miami, and he wouldn't let him start, and I don't know why, because he came in the second half and looked fine. Wouldn't let him go back in and left Rusty Smith in the game, a sixth-round pick from Florida Atlantic. What? You know, and it's the ultimate show of disrespect.
So what happened between Vince Young and Jeff Fisher? What's up, Titans family? Welcome back to All Out Titans podcast. Thank you so much for all your love and support. Do me a favor, please hit that subscribe button. It's free. We're gonna go old school on this video and talk about a little bit of drama between former Tennessee Titans head coach Jeff Fisher and former franchise quarterback Vince Young. Would you consider him a franchise quarterback? Vince Young was the third overall pick in the 2006 NFL draft. He was actually the first quarterback chosen in that draft. I remember when that draft happened, and I was actually really excited. I remember what Vince Young did to that USC team. Jeff Fisher was the Tennessee Titans head coach. He was a USC alumni and was really high on Matt Leinart. At the time, the Tennessee Titans offensive coordinator was Norm Chow. Norm Chow actually coached Matt Leinart back at USC. Of course, he really wanted Matt Leinart. Now, on the day of the draft, all of Titans staff really wanted Matt Leinart, so it seemed like they were going to draft him. Titans owner, the late Bud Adams, went into the draft room and said, "Draft Vince Young."
Bud came in and said that, you know, this is our guy. I think he saw the Rose Bowl and he was infatuated with the Rose Bowl.
Most owners do not do that. They really don't get involved in that. They leave that up to the general manager, who was Floyd Reese at the time, and their head coach. Bud Adams loved Vince Young. He was on board with Vince Young. He was a Texas guy, he loved Texas, and he loved Vince Young. Of course, the Titans have to draft Vince Young when your owner is saying, "I want this guy." Vince Young signed a 5-year deal worth $58 million with $25 million guaranteed. What I never really understood is why Jeff Fisher really never wanted Vince Young, because he was really big on Steve McNair. He loved Steve McNair. He loved the kind of quarterback. And the Titans Oilers always had that kind of quarterback. Warren Moon, Steve McNair. You would think Vince Young. Now, even though Vince Young got Rookie of the Year, his passer rating was only 66.7%. He was the 30th ranked quarterback in the NFL. Now, in the start of the 2007 season, this is kind of when the drama started. In an exhibition game against the Washington Redskins, Jeff Fisher benched Vince Young for violating team policy. Vince was supposed to sleep in the team's hotel, and instead of staying at the hotel, he ended up leaving and going home to sleep in his own bed. Now, I understand he's supposed to follow the team rules, but I don't see Bill Belichick benching Tom Brady for that reason. In the 2008 season, that's when the beef really started taking off between Jeff Fisher and Vince Young. First game of the season, the Titans played the Jacksonville Jaguars. Vince Young really wasn't having his top-notch game. He ended up getting booed by the fans. Due to the fans booing him, Vince Young did not want to go back in on the next series. He ended up going back in, and on the very next play, injured his knee. Talk about timing. Kerry Collins took over to finish the game, and that was pretty much it for Vince Young for a while. The very next day, Vince Young wanted to go to his buddy's house to watch the Monday Night Football game. He picked up some chicken wings and left his cell phone at home. When nobody could get a hold of Vince Young's psychiatrist contacted head coach Jeff Fisher and informed him that Vince Young has talked about committing suicide. And it was reported when Vince Young left his home that day, he had a firearm on him. Later on that night, Vince Young finally gets his cell phone back. He sees that Jeff Fisher's called him multiple times, so he decides to call him back. Fisher basically tells him he needs him to come to the stadium just to see if he's okay. When Vince Young arrives, it is chaos. It was 8 police cars, a negotiator, whole Tennessee Titans staff, but there was one other thing there: the media. How did the media know about this situation? How did the media know to go to the Titans facility? Jeff Fisher. Vince Young to this day feels like that whole thing was set up. Jeff Fisher took that way out of context. That whole thing could have been avoided.
Forgive me for bringing this up, but it got so bad that Jeff indicated to the media that one Monday after a bad opening Sunday, I think it was, that you were contemplating suicide.
There was 8 police officers there. There was a negotiator there. I mean, they felt like I was trying to harm myself for some reason, and I felt like, to me, and it was media out there, and so I felt like, to me, it was kind of a setup. Coach Fisher could have cut that off.
Right.
I agree.
When I said, Coach, I'm okay, Coach, I'm just relaxing.
Short time later, it was announced that Kerry Collins will be taking over as the Tennessee Titans starting quarterback. He actually finished the season very strong. The Titans finished 13-3 and made it to the #1 seed in the AFC. We ended up losing in the first round to the Baltimore Ravens, and to this day, I remember the delay of game was not called. Take this bat like Negan to those referees' heads, because I remember the Baltimore Ravens were winning 13-10, and there was a delay of game, and it wasn't like a second delay of game. It was like 4 seconds of a delay of game, and the referees did not call it.
Play clock down to 3. Flacco's got to hurry. 1.
2009 season, Jeff Fisher announced that Kerry Collins will remain the Titans starting quarterback. In the first 6 games, the Kerry Collins led the Titans to 0-6. Let me repeat that, 0-6. The Patriots blew out the Titans 59-0, 59-0, 59-0, 59-0. Once again, owner Bud Adams had to step in. It was reported that Titans owner Bud Adams told Jeff Fisher he needs to start Vince Young right now. Fisher stated, "I'm still in Kerry Collins' corner, because I don't believe that our record is a reflection of our quarterback play, is a reflection of the team play. I'm still in his corner, but we've decided to go ahead and make this change." When Vince Young became the starter again, he was on fire. He took over. This kid was hot, and he was ready. This day, the Titans are the only team to finish the season 8-8 after starting out 0-6. Vince Young led the Titans 99 yards to beat Matt Leinart again in the Arizona Cardinals. That must have really pissed off Matt Leinart. I mean, Vince Young did that to him in college at the Rose Bowl, and then he did it to him in the NFL. I mean, if I was Matt Leinart, I would have been really pissed off. And if I was Jeff Fisher, I would have went to Vince Young and apologized, because Vince Young pretty much saved his job. Fisher did announce in the 2010 season that Vince Young will remain the Titans starting quarterback. Vince Young's last game as a Tennessee Titan. Titans were playing the Redskins at home. Vince Young actually tore a tendon in his thumb. You see Vince Young on the sideline throwing the ball, ready to go back in, wanting to go back in. At this time, it's not Kerry Collins that's in the game. It's actually rookie quarterback from Florida Atlantic, Rusty Smith. Vince Young told the trainers he's able to go back in, he's able to throw the ball. Randy Moss is out there and on my team. Get me back in this game so we can win this thing. Jeff Fisher would not do it. Jeff Fisher said no. He's going to keep in Rusty Smith, a rookie quarterback who's never played a down in the NFL, from Florida Atlantic, a 6th-round draft pick. Don't get me wrong. There are 6th-round draft picks that could be amazing quarterback football players. Look at Tom Brady, 6th-round draft pick. Rusty Smith was not a Tom Brady. After the game, Vince Young had enough. It was reported that Vince Young threw his jersey and shoulder pads in the stands. Before all the players got into the locker room, Vince Young was already changed into his street clothes and was about to leave the facility. Jeff Fisher told Vince Young, "Do not walk out on your team." Vince Young replied by saying to Jeff Fisher, "I'm not walking out on them, I'm walking out on your fucking ass." Again, I can't, what went on in there is just between us. After all these years together, after all this time together, it is pretty clear that Vince Young and Jeff Fisher can't coexist. Now, at this point, Jeff Fisher has been the Titans head coach for 16 seasons. So it's pretty clear that Bud Adams cannot keep both. He can't keep Vince Young and Jeff Fisher. 2011, it was announced that Vince Young will not be returning to the Titans for the 2011 season. Short time later, it was announced that Jeff Fisher and the Titans also agreed to part ways after 16 seasons as the Titans head coach. In 2011, Vince Young signed a 1-year contract with the Philadelphia Eagles. Everybody knows what Vince Young said about that team.
Oh, dream team.
Jeff Fisher ended up going to the St. Louis Rams to be their new head coach. Vince Young then went to play for multiple teams. He played for the Buffalo Bills, the Cleveland Browns, and the Green Bay Packers. He never made the final roster. Jeff Fisher remained as the Rams head coach for 5 seasons, not winning more than 7 games. I truly believe if Jeff Fisher would have supported Vince Young, a lot of things could have worked out very well for both of them. Vince Young has since done multiple interviews, and he said he has forgiven Jeff Fisher and hoped that Jeff Fisher forgave him. It was reported that Vince Young sent a letter to Jeff Fisher, and Jeff Fisher just never responded. That's it for this video, guys. Do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and answer this question for me. What do you think was the problem between Jeff Fisher and Vince Young? Leave it in the comment below. I'll see you guys next time. Have a good night.